Hello, everybody. What's going on? We're going to get started here in just a few minutes. Looking forward to that. By the way, my name is Jason Murray. I am an insurance broker and agency leader. So I run Warriors Heart Financial Agency, Consigue Financial Leadership Training Systems. Now, guys, we're going to be discussing offenses defense. This is our offenses defense workshop. We're going to be discussing the financial attack, guys, savings, retirement, legacy planning, and estate planning. Okay. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So, so keep that in mind as we go through this. All right. All right, everybody. We are live. We are live. What's going on? Jason Murray here, financial strategist in the financial industry for the past 19 years. Guys, we have learned a lot, grown a lot. Now, keep in mind, we're going to be talking about some really important things tonight. This is called Winning Your Financial Fight, Offenses Defense Workshop. The financial attack is what we're discussing, okay? The financial attack, savings, retirement, legacy, and estate planning. What you should have already put in place prior to that is your financial stance, your financial movement, and then go on to your financial attack. But go into the dojo floor to even pressure test what you already know, right? And that's through our EFA, our expert financial analysis. The financial stance is getting your insurance protection, your supplemental insurances, and your legal protection all in place. What's up, Basement Dream? How you doing? Welcome to the live, guys. We're just going to discuss that, and then the financial movement was to get out of debt, right? Getting out of debt, utilizing other debt to leverage debt so you can fix your credit repair. And now we're talking about the financial attack. The financial attack is very important to understand and realize, okay? Everything builds off of each other. You can't have the attack without the movement. You can't have the movement without the stance. And you can't have any of that stuff until you actually learn and have a game plan on how to get on the dojo floor and fight, right? This is about your financial fight, guys. It's very crucial. Winning your financial fight. So, again, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Offenses Defense, Winning Your Financial Fight. Tonight is educational. It's not motivational, but there will be some motivation within it, okay? This is not entertainment. This is leadership and stewardship, guys, through financial education, okay? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are financially reactive. Few people, very few people, are financially prepared. Most people wait until the pressure shows up before they decide to pay attention to their money. By then, they're already behind. Trust me, I've known this from personal experience, but I've also seen this in people that have been very close to me and people outside of my sphere of influence. I see it every day when I sit down with clients. I see it every day when I sit down with a new agent and I'm working with them. Right, guys? So there you go. That's how it is. I'm going to share this live out real quick because, guys, I'm on TikTok live as well. So yeah, killing two birds with one stone, everybody. Yeah. I don't know if I can share this. That's crazy. Crazy. Well, okay then. Oh, here it is. They moved the share button. So there we go. There we go. All right. Share this live out. Get this going here. And guys, I'm so happy that we're doing this today because it's very important. Very important. Right? So here we go. Moving forward, okay? Guys, most people wait until pressure shows up before they decide to pay attention to their money. And how many times do we do that? How many times have we done that in our past? How many times do we still do that in today? Guys, listen, that's when they're already behind. They're already behind. The purpose of this workshop is to help people think differently about savings, about retirement, about legacy, preparation, about structure, about ownership and distribution. Okay? Because intention with action sets direction. I say it all the time. Intention with action sets direction. Guys, here's the disclaimer. Okay? This workshop is strictly educational, and it is not a solicitation to purchase any product, security of certs. Okay? It's not at all. It's just strictly education. The information discussed tonight is general education only and should not be interpreted as individualized financial, tax, legal, or investment advice. Individuals should consult appropriately licensed professionals regarding their personal situation. Okay? Let me fix my music here. Let me turn off the music. There, we'll just turn off the music. I'll just go right to it. Sorry, guys, there was music on the TikTok. So, guys, individuals should consult appropriately licensed professionals regarding their personal situation. Guys, I work with licensed professionals in the space that we're going to discuss. Okay, I'm working on my investment advisory license, but I'm not there yet. But I have investment advisors in my agency. I have CFPs in our agencies as well. So there you go. That's who we get to work with. I'm currently pursuing my Series 65 registration, not currently FINRA or NASA licensed. Warriors Heart Financial Agency works alongside properly licensed professionals, including CFPs and investment advisors within our agency structure. Okay. All strategies and concepts discussed are subject to state and federal regulations, suitability standards, and licensing requirements and professional review where applicable. So there you go. There's my disclaimer for the night. Okay. Let me see if anybody has hopped onto the Zoom here real quick. Anybody else? No, just us. Got it. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. The financial war most people are losing. Most people do not have a money problem. They have a structure problem. I say it all the time. They don't have a money problem. They have a structure problem. They make money, spend money. They repeat that cycle over and over and over and over again. No strategy, no systems, no reserves, no ownership. Okay. Now keep in mind, guys, I'm bouncing from two different cameras. What's up, Rodrigo? This is important stuff. You can actually pipe in on some of this stuff. Good stuff. No ownership, no distribution, no success plan. So again, let me tell you guys, we're going to go back to this. Most people don't have a money problem. They have a structure problem. They make money, they spend money, they repeat the dadgum cycle. Well, dadgummit, they have no strategy, no systems, no reserves, no ownership, no distribution, and no succession plan. Guys, this is crazy. And then one emergency happens. They lose a job. There's an unaliving in the family, a passing away in the family, right? There's a disability, a market correction, divorce happens, health issues. The list goes on. Now everything collapses. That's why I teach offenses, defense when it comes to your finances. Okay? Because preparation protects people, right? The average household is operating emotionally instead of strategically. People buy liabilities trying to look successful. New car, new house, gym memberships, and cigars, right? Right? They buy these liabilities, right? Trying to look successful while having no emergency reserves, none whatsoever. People contribute into retirement accounts They don't fully understand while carrying consumer debt at the same time. People leave jobs with old 401ks or 403bs, sitting exposed and unmanaged for years. And sometimes you end up losing that. That's money that you invested while you were at your previous job that you lost. Unbelievable. But we've done it. We've been there. We've done it. It's happened, right? Guys, people pass away with no estate structure and leave their family confusion instead of clarity. How many of you guys want to leave your family confusion instead of clarity? Right? There's got to be a shift. There's got to be a change. There's got to be some ownership to the equation here. Guys, listen, with this in place as is, with confusion instead of clarity, that's not stewardship. That's avoiding it. It's avoidance. So now we're going to move into the next piece, high yield savings and liquidity, because you got to have that. It is suggested by financial professionals for decades upon decades that you need to have 3 to 6 months worth of your monthly income in a high net yield savings or a liquid fund like a money market. You got to. It's important. What's up, Mike? How you doing, man? What's up, Mikey Hunter? So let's start with savings. Not because savings alone creates wealth. It doesn't. Okay. Savings only creates more stability in your lifetime. Okay. Not savings alone creates wealth, but because liquidity creates stability. It does. It creates stability. Okay. Most Americans cannot survive a moderate emergency fund without debt. They can't. They cannot survive moderate emergency without debt. Huh, I got to put this on my credit card because I don't have anything saved. I got to put this, I got to go buy a loan, get a loan, right? I got to go get a payday loan. You know, we see it all the time, every single day. What's up, guys? How you doing? Welcome to the live. Great, wonderful. Okay, wonderful. So, so guys, that's dangerous. Savings is not exciting, but it's discipline. Okay, it's discipline. Savings is discipline. So, listen, everybody wants aggressive growth. Very few people respect reserves. Right? Right? Who who does who does that? Most people. Most people do that. We weren't taught how to win at the money game. How many of you guys on here? How many of you guys on here have been taught about the rule of 72? I didn't learn that in school. I learned how to write a check, right? What did they teach me? They taught me how to spend money. They didn't teach me how to save money. They taught me how to spend money. They taught me how to spend money in a balanced checkbook too, so I don't go in the red. But did they tell me how to save the money? Did they tell me how to invest the money? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Everybody wants aggressive growth. Very few people respect reserves. Now, understand this, everybody. Traditional savings accounts historically pay extremely little. Did you know traditional savings account, the average traditional savings account, 0.825% interest? That's not even 1%. Now, listen, what is the rule of 72? The rule of, what's up, Charles? How you doing? Welcome to the live. My name is Jason Murray. I'm an insurance broker, agency owner. I work with investment brokers and investment advisors and CFPs. So save money options, what's going on here? So that's who I work with to help do the whole project for people that need financial independence, need financial security, need financial freedom, right? Guys, listen, A traditional savings account historically pays 0.825% interest. But if you learn the rule of 72, the rule of 72 says you divide 72 into the interest rate that you're obtaining, and that's how many years it takes your money to double. How many of you guys got 75 years left for your money to double? I sure as heck don't. What's up, Sam? How you doing, man? Hey, can you come up in the box, or are you at work right now in the machine plant? Anyway, if you can come up in the box, request up in the box because it's good for you to add some stuff in there, right? So, so anyway, Charles, seriously, how many of us have that 72%, 72 years, 75 years, so of doubling periods? We don't. I mean, not unless you get $1 million lump sum, right? And then you got to give it to your beneficiaries because you're not going to live that long, right? I mean, seriously, guys, this is not how to do it. That's why you need many people today are utilizing high net yield savings and emergency liquidity and reserves positioning. Did you know you can get a money market account that's up to 12% interest on average? That's an average. Did you know you can get a high net yield savings anywhere from 4 to 6% interest? That's keeping up with inflation at the very least. So you're going to have a good chance of winning at the money game by doing that. Okay, guys? So educationally speaking, a traditional bank may pay extremely low annual interest rates, while some high net yield savings structures may offer substantially higher yields, guys. Depending on the market, the environment, and depending on who you choose to put your money with, right? That does not replace investing. It's only a safety net for stability. Okay. That does not replace retirement. Again, that's your foundation, your stability. And that does not replace protection. Your protection is your life insurance and your supplemental insurances and your legal protection. That's your protection. Okay. Savings is not your protection, it's your stability while you're alive. Okay. It creates liquidity, and liquidity creates options for you. Welcome, JB. What's going on? It's been a while since I've seen you. Good to see you. Liquidity creates options, people, because when pressure comes, cash flow matters, access matters, flexibility matters. Okay. I tell people all the time you cannot invest aggressively if every emergency wipes you out financially. It does. I mean, seriously, I lived that life. Most people live that life. I don't live that life anymore. I've worked myself out of that, working myself out of that, and I'm teaching others to do the same because it's duplicatable. It's duplicatable, and it's a way to help people learn how to win at the money game. So again, you cannot invest aggressively if every flipping emergency, every dadgum emergency wipes you out financially. Preparation first, pressure second. Number 3, okay, retirement positioning, guys. Retirement positioning. Retirement positioning is this. Most people have been taught put money into a retirement account, okay, and hope it works out. Just put it into a retirement account and just let it happen. Some people put it in a some people are coached and trained to put it in a very, very low, safe fund. Well, that's good for certain people. That may be good for a guy like me who's near term 50, right? But that's not good for somebody who's in their 20s. And again, you don't just use one retirement fund. You got to have a diversified portfolio. Okay. Keep in mind, guys, I did a disclaimer earlier. I'm going to go back to that disclaimer in a moment. Okay. But that disclaimer is this is for education use only. This is not a solicitation to buy any product or service. This is not a solicitation for any of that stuff. And keep in mind, you work with a licensed professional, somebody who's a CFP, an investment advisor. a broker licensed individual, right? Investment broker licensed individual. I work with those people in my agency. Okay, I do. I'm not there yet. I'm working on my 65, but I'm not there yet. This is very important. But guys, this is not a solicitation. This is education. Okay, this is education from what I learned over the last 19 years. I've been in this industry working alongside CFPs, investment advisors, and investment brokers. Okay, this is what I've learned over the years. This is what I've learned through other people. You know, like a bald guy out of Tennessee that owns a radio show, right? Okay, some of you guys will get who I'm talking about. Okay, Mr. Bill, what's going on? How you doing? So most people have been taught put money into a retirement account and hope it works out. That's not strategy. That's just forgetfulness, right? Retirement planning should involve time horizon. Time horizon. How much time has this proven itself in the market? How much time has this proven itself in the insurance program? If you're doing an annuity, right? How much time horizon do I have in this solution? That you're and risk tolerance. How much risk tolerance does it have? How much risk tolerance do I have? Am I a low risk? Am I bearish or am I bullish? What is bearish? Bearish means you have a low tolerance. You like to play the safe game. That's okay, right? It's okay. We'll put you in some safe portfolios, right? Legally, we can't put you in anything else if you are moderate or low risk averse. You're risk averse, right? But if you love risk and you like taking risks and you love to have that risk, then yeah, we're going to look at growth portfolios, right? With my team. My team will help you do that. Okay. Tax positioning. Okay. A lot of people want to understand tax positioning. What is that? Well, you're going to designate your account into an IRA or a Roth IRA. What's the difference? Well, do you want to retire with taxes or without taxes? Right? That's the basic way. Are you going to get taxed on the front end with the Roth IRA? Yes. But on the back end, you're not taxed. Okay. So there's tax advantage with that. All right. Doing an fixed indexed annuity, right? You you got tax advantages with that. Okay. Right. But you got to understand these are just mentioning products. They're not or designations. It's not solicitation. Okay. It's just education. Distribution planning. Understand how your product distributes the income. Understand how you should be distributing your funding within the portfolio, right? Are you above the age of 50 or are you below the age of 50? If you're below the age of 50, $7,000 a year into a traditional or Roth IRA or 401k or 403b, right? That's the limit that FINRA established, okay? If you're above the age of 50, it's $6,000, okay? Inflation awareness. Where's inflation? The average inflation is around 3.5 to 4% over the last several decades. 3.5 to 4% is inflation. Don't you want to keep up with inflation, or do you want to just keep it in the bank, earning less than 1%? Keep that in mind. Longevity planning and legacy planning. Guys, many people don't realize there's a difference between qualified accounts and non-qualified accounts. Qualified accounts often involve contribution limits, tax advantages depending on the account types. See, I went ahead of myself in my notes. That's a beautiful thing. I love doing that, right? We already talked about that. If you want a qualified account, it's a 401k through your job, 403b. If you're a state employee, you're going to do a 403b if you're in the United States. I don't know what they're called in Canada, but my Canadian friends do. All right. Thank you, Sam, by the way. Thank you so much for liking the live. Push it out, man. Share the live. That would be great. That would be extremely helpful. Guys, qualified accounts often involve contribution limits and tax advantages depending on the account type. Non-qualified strategies may not have contribution limitations, but may involve different tax treatment because it's going to be treated as earned income. Let's face it, it's going to be treated as earned income in non-qualified accounts. Now, if you're used to that, great, wonderful. If you don't mind that, great, wonderful. Because most people that don't mind that have a huge lump sum that they may want to put in there and contribute well into these, make big lump sums throughout the duration of the time. That's great. That's wonderful. Once they build that portfolio up, then they can, roll it over if they want to, or keep it in there. They don't care. What's up, Scott? How you doing? Welcome to the live, man. Both have purpose, both have strengths, both require structure. Okay? They require structure. Let's discuss DCA. What is DCA? DCA is dollar cost averaging. Dollar cost averaging, most people think investing is about timing the market perfectly. Guys, let's be honest. You're never going to time the market perfectly. Ever. You're never going to time the market perfectly. There's going to be one instance here, there, everywhere that's going to ding the market. Okay? Guys, consistent, disciplined investing over time often matters more than emotional reactions. And let me tell you something. I did a test on this the other day, right? If you had $500,000 and you invested it in a big ass lump sum, okay, all right, and you invested in a big lump sum, wonderful, great, there you go, and then you just let it sit there, wonderful. But if you invested that same lump sum of $500,000 and then contributed $7,000 a year into that, if you qualified the account, or if you didn't qualify the account and it was a non-qualified account, and you invested even more lump sums into that product, you're going to make so much. You're going to make 10 times more. I looked it up. I did the math. The average is you're going to end up with 10 times more using dollar cost averaging than you would have just doing a lump sum. Good to see you, Ty. Thank you so much. Ty, Sam's in the chat too, buddy. Say hello to Sam. Good to see you guys. Yes, thank you for joining the live. Guys, dollar cost averaging in the long run, if you do it right, could make you more money at the end. Okay? At the end. Dollar cost averaging can. Guys, listen, this is important. What's up, Dylan? How you doing, man? It's so important. Consistent, disciplined investing over time often matters more than emotional reactions. Okay? That's one reason many long-term investors utilize dollar cost averaging concepts. Consistent contributions over time, regardless of market fluctuations. The average person destroys their own financial progress emotionally, buying high, selling low, stopping contributions completely, and panicking during downturns. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Right? Unbelievable. But that's what we do, right? That's what the average American does. The average North American does that, okay? Across the board, right? Discipline matters more than emotion. Do not operate out of emotion. You can buy emotionally but defend it logically, but also be disciplined with it logically. Be disciplined. Come on, people. Another issue. People think retirement is accumulation only. No, that is not the case. Retirement is not accumulation only. Distribution matters too. You can accumulate wealth and still lose financially through poor distribution strategies later. Yay, I got retirement. I'm going to spend my entire paycheck. What? You see it all the time. Former pro baseball players, basketball players, football players, former pro athletes in general, former professional musicians. right? Why do you see MC Hammer doing these B-rated commercials at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? In his Hammer pants. Yes, I did have those back when I was younger. Yes, I did. They were the most comfortable pants on the face of the planet. They were so comfortable. Loved those dadgum things. But guys, listen, why are they doing that? Because they liquidated their assets. They didn't distribute it right. It was distributed poorly. That's why tax efficiency, withdrawal planning, and professional guidance matters. With setting the withdrawals maybe at 10%, right? 10%. If you're in retirement, do you need a to pay off your mortgage? Do you need to pay off all this stuff? More than likely, your mortgage is paid off or almost paid off, unless you refinanced. That's another thing that we will talk about at a later time. But right now, this is what we're talking about. What's up, Travis? How you doing? Guys, you can accumulate wealth and still lose financially through poor distribution strategies later. That's why tax efficiency, withdrawal planning, and professional guidance matter. And this is where working with properly licensed professionals matter heavily. My team has those professionals. We have a CFP and an investment advisor in our team. We work alongside these guys. They help all of our clients do this, right? Now, this is not a solicitation to buy anything. Keep in mind, this is just education, okay? Legacy and estate planning, guys. Legacy and estate planning is so crucial. You want to bypass probate? You want your family to bypass probate? This is where you do it. This is how you do it in a good, successful way. There you go, right there. Sam said it in the chat, guys. Guys, listen, if you're watching live on YouTube and you're watching live in Zoom, guys, listen. This came from one of my TikTok friends, my TikTok colleagues, right? He just ran the numbers, literally just ran the numbers. And it says most Americans nearing retirement age, that's all of us Gen Xers, by the way, old time Gen Xers. I'm on the tail end of Gen X, but all the old time Gen Xers, the 60-year-olds. And no, I'm just kidding. I love you guys very much. But guys, listen, just ran the numbers. Most Americans nearing retirement age aren't ready for retirement. What's the percentage, Sam? If you can look at that, what is the percentage of that? If you don't mind me asking. While he's looking that up, guys, we're talking about legacy and estate planning. Okay, the conversation most families avoid, right? Because guys, most families don't want to talk about the passing of a loved one and the distributing of assets or debt that loved one left, right? Now, if you're doing things biblically, right, you're a good man, a righteous man leaves an inheritance for his children and grandchildren. Doesn't leave debt, leaves an inheritance, right? So we teach that. That's what we're teaching today. That's what we're talking about today. Okay. Yes, you're right, Ty. Ty is fully FINRA licensed. He knows what he's talking about. He's in my chat here on TikTok. Okay. He knows exactly what he's talking about. High end professional. Okay. Being prepared is so important, right? Everybody says they love their family. Very few people properly prepare their family. Okay. Legacy is not just money, people. Legacy is the structure. Again, I'm talking about flipping dadgum structure. Structure. It's all about structure. Legacy is not just about money, it's about structure. Questions people avoid. Who receives what in case something were to happen to you and you were to pass away prematurely? Who receives what? Yeah, you got to have tough conversations for something we know will happen. This is where it happens. Who receives that? Who controls that? Do you have a third party controlling that? Because most likely we would recommend that a third trusted highly trusted third party would be the one who helps distribute this so that there's no family conflict, right? That happens. And then it goes into probate anyway, right? You don't want that to happen. What happens if you were to pass away tomorrow? What happens if I become disabled, right? A lot of people, they end up receiving dementia. Well, dementia, you need to have a POA, a power of attorney. You need to have a legacy plan in place. You need to have an estate plan in place. Legacy plan, a living will, and then estate plan, living will, and trust, right? Yeah. Sam knows exactly what happens when this goes down improperly. He just went through it. That's why he's dead on focused on setting families and leaders and business owners up with a living will and trust, okay, of some type. Are my beneficiaries updated? Did you lose some beneficiaries, right? Thank you so much, Ty. Thank you for that plug. I appreciate you, brother. Guys, um, is there a will? Is there a trust discussion? Guys, is there succession planning? People spend more time planning vacations, planning dinners, planning what they're going to buy the next week more than they're preparing their estate. And that's detrimental to your family's future. Families end up fighting in probate court. Guys, this is preventable, okay? This right here is preventable. Preparation is leadership. Now understanding that estate planning is not only for wealthy people. If you have children, assets, if you have property, if you have retirement accounts, if you have businesses, insurance programs, if you have a life insurance policy, just a life insurance policy, if you have supplemental insurances like disability, critical illness, right? If you have debt, if you have any other form of responsibilities, you are qualified for an estate plan. Let me say that again. If you have these things, children, assets, property, retirement accounts, businesses, insurance, debt, responsibilities, you qualify for an estate plan. You qualify. You need structure. This is stewardship, people. This is stewardship. The importance of distribution and ownership, guys. One of the reasons I aligned myself with Experior Financial Group, AOG, and the FML Free More Lives system is because I understand the importance of scalable distribution and ownership. Now, keep in mind, I got people from other hierarchies in this group that are in the Diamond Group. They have a great distribution scalable program. They do. Most people stay trapped because they only understand personal production. Now, I'm talking to the agents now, okay? This platform was meant to talk to clients and agents alike, okay? One of the reasons, this is why I aligned myself with them. Distribution creates scale, leadership creates duplication, ownership creates legacy. That applies in business, in finance, in families. It's across the board, people. Okay. I'm actively building Warriors Heart Financial Agency while also pursuing further licensing and developing relationships with registered representatives, investment advisors, and CFP professionals. Why would I do that? So I can do the whole flipping dadgum job for all of you, for everybody else. What's up, Rudy? How you doing? If I'm not doing the whole dadgum flipping job for you, then how can I do it? How can I preach it? How can I preach that I'm doing what's right for people? That's right, Michael. Do it. Do it. Wonderful. Just do it. Great. Just do it. Super duper. Just do it. Wonderful. Just do it. Right? Some of you guys know what I'm talking about on here, right? But guys, this is why I develop relationships with these registered representatives, with the investment advisors, with CFP professionals. Why? Because I'm building a dadgum team. I build a team first. I earn residual income off of my life insurance and annuity and all the supplemental products, right? Business while I'm building this business, while I'm creating leverage. Then I can take a little load off, right? Let my team, who's fully trained and fully able to take the business to the next level, and I have licensed professionals in that to continue working in that business and building that business, right? In all areas, in all facets. Now I can take the time off to get my investment license. Now I can take the time off to get my CFP designation. Now I can take the time off to do all that, guys. Be the person in your family that makes estate planning the norm. Be the role model. That was given from Ty in TikTok, guys. Listen to this guy. This guy has all of his FINRA licenses. He knows what he's talking about. He's in the industry. Be the person in your family that makes estate planning the norm. Be the role model. Guys, we talk about this every now and then in Christian ministry, right? In Christian ministry, we talk about breaking generational curses. Did you know that leaving your family up into probate court and into debt is a generational curse? That is a generational curse. And it's time to be the one to break that generational curse and to make a difference, to make it happen. Stop listening to the news radios. I don't care which side of the fence you're on. The news radios are going to teach you this, they're going to teach you that. But you need to get involved with somebody who actually knows what business, who actually knows business, real, genuine business. And I'm going to talk about the small Joe Blow business owner out here making a six-figure income. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm talking about the billionaires, the millionaires, right? The soon-to-be trillionaires. Those are the people you need to be listening to. Every single one of those people have an estate plan established. Every single one of people have retirement established. Every single one of those people have investment established, which is legacy planning. Every single one of them. What we do here, Sam made a great point. What we do here is not taught. It's not taught. We're taught to get a good job. We're actually taught to go to college, get good grades, and get a good job. But what kind of job, what kind of good grades do you need to get? If you're not in science or teaching or or um, or big time physiology or whatever, right? If you're not in those two fields, right, likelihood of you getting a good job after you graduate college is little to none. Little to none. You get paid 40 hours a week for 40 years of your life for 40 grand. That's not living. That's not living. You're trading time for money when what you should be doing is learning how to leverage your time and making that money. Right? And guys, I'm currently building my agency. Okay. Nobody scales alone. Strong structure requires specialists. And guys, I'm actively recruiting. I'm looking for 200 licensed agents in life and health and 50 licensed agents in investments and CFP designations. I don't care which one you have. Either one will work. Okay. That's what I'm looking for. 200 life and health licensed agents and 50 investment abled representatives. Do I want more? Absolutely. If it were a perfect world, I would have 200 life insurance and health insurance agents and 200 investment agents. Bam, bada boom. There you go. The 100% of our agency doing the entire job for people. That would be a perfect world. But not everybody wants to do that. I understand that. Okay. So now let me be direct. I'm not chasing anybody. I'm not convincing anybody. I'm not pressuring anybody. My responsibility is to education and opportunity. I'll give you the education and the tools that you need, and I'll give you a dadgum opportunity if you want to make some side income or you want to change careers and make some full-time income. Right? Right? And you want to have legitimate ownership. Now, Ty, you need to get with Sam and myself, and you need to seriously consider moving your stuff over because we got a place for you because we got true legitimate ownership and shares and all that fun stuff. But anyway, there you go. Sorry, I'm being ornery, guys. I'm being ornery. I'm being ornery. Ty knows me. He knows me. He knows I'm not the pushy car salesman. But yes, it's an incredible part-time income. Sam's made some incredible part-time income. He's made incredible part-time income. Shoot, I made incredible part-time income when I was part-time. I'm full-time now. Not full-time, full-time. Not faux time, full-time. Okay? Right? Right? All right, guys. My responsibility is education and opportunity. What you do with it is your responsibility. I can lead a horse to water, but I can't force him to drink. Just like I can lead you to the opportunity, I can lead you to good um, quality products and services that's going to help you be financially independent and financial free. But you got to be the one responsible for it. You got to one that continues to follow the plan. You got to be the one that follows the systems in place. That's what you got to do. Okay. Some of you listening tonight realize you need better structure. You need a review. You need protection. You need retirement positioning. You need legacy planning. You need leadership around you. Good quality leadership. What's up, Paint? Pick and Paint? What's going on? Good quality leadership, right? Around you. You may even need a business opportunity. Good. Awareness creates movement. If you want to have a conversation, guys, schedule it into my calendar. Send me a message or shoot me a message in the chat, whether you're on YouTube, TikTok, or Zoom. Put in the chat, say opportunity or say legacy plan. When you say legacy plan or you say opportunity, and then I'll get you guys my calendar link, and we're gonna have a conversation. If it aligns, great. If it doesn't, no hard feelings. We move forward. We go to the next level. You might know somebody that may align with me, right? Great. I'll take those referrals. And then 10 referrals, I may even buy you dinner through a gift card if you're virtual, or if you're local, take it to dinner, right? Guys, I'm okay with that, right? 10 referrals is worth it, right? It's worth it, guys. But doing nothing is still a decision. Financial leadership is not built through emotion, impulse, and wishful thinking. It's built on preparation, structure, discipline, and alignment. This is why I continue building with properly licensed professionals while expanding Warriors Heart Financial Agency through a scalable distribution model that creates both opportunity and leadership development. Guys, I can teach you how to sell, but if I'm not creating your leadership, then all you're going to be doing is just field selling. You're not going to be field training. You're not going to maintain clients. You're just going to be dipping clients and having to maintain and get new clients and get new clients and get new clients. How about maintaining clients because you develop people skills? How about maintaining clients because you develop leadership? How about maintaining clients for generation after generation after generation after? That's legacy. That's legacy. And you're right. This is not a place to make quick money. You want quick money? Good luck. Good luck, because there's no such thing unless you do it illegally. And I'm not about that. Okay. There's no such thing as quick money. What I've found is that quick money usually gets people in trouble. You know why it's not quick money? Number one, you're learning a new trade. Number two, you're learning a new system. Number three, you're learning how to be a leader for yourself, for your family, for your business, for your agency. That's why it's not quick money. A lot of people want increase. Very few are willing to build a structure required to sustain it. And we're going to go back to it. That's why professional players wind up broke after they retire. They're going to get other business opportunities. They're doing flipping commercials. They're working for somebody else. And you know what? They could have gotten involved with our industry in this area, but instead they chose to get involved in the industry doing their own commercials. Right? Right? Because they liquidated their assets. Not all of them, but most of them. Most of them. Because they weren't willing to build the structure that's required to sustain that. They didn't look at Michael Jordan. They didn't look at Shaquille O'Neal. Dude, Shaquille O'Neal is one of the smartest business owners I've ever seen. He is incredible, right? But you know what he did? Built the structure while he was in the game, playing ball. Michael Jordan built the structure while he was playing the game. Winners find a way. Losers make excuses. Tension with action sets direction. Thank you, everybody. That's all the content I have tonight. Is there anybody in the chat that want to come up in the box? If not, I'll go ahead and end this tonight. I appreciate you, Ty. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And guys, if you want to join the Zoom, you need to go to my Facebook page, go to Offense is Defense. You can join my Zoom and you can be live on the Zoom in there. Also, guys, if you want to be live and in the panel as well on TikTok, be on my TikTok, Jason D. Murray, the Money Sensei. Okay, that's it. So, guys, I'm Jason Murray, insurance professional, leadership guide, and coach. Golly, I can't even get my words out now. Once I get done, all of a sudden the words start going away. But leadership coach, and guys, thank you so much for joining us today. I'll see you soon. Let's have a good and wonderful week. And if you need anything, again, direct message or message me in the chat on YouTube, direct message me on TikTok. And guys, if you're connected with me on Facebook, direct message me on Facebook. Say, look, I was on your offenses defense workshop. I want to talk to you.